We just see this little ball on the ice from the nosebleeds. We're like, what the fuck is that? And then I didn't realize Kadri ripped his beard out.
You're listening to the Draft in Hand podcast with your hosts, Greg, Ian, and Mark.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name's Greg, and give us a little bit of credit for a Toronto-based sports podcast. We're waiting a dozen episodes before we talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm here with Ian.
Yep.
And Mark.
They've done 12 already?
Yeah, it's been 12.
Holy jeez.
Hope everybody enjoyed those fantasy hockey ones. We've gotten some good feedback from that stuff. But we're going to start talking about a little bit more hockey, not fantasy hockey. So where were you guys when you heard Thornton was on the top line with Matthews and Marner?
Probably sitting here.
Yeah, probably.
We were probably doing a podcast.
I feel like we had just wrapped up a podcast episode, and Mark looked at his phone and was like, "Huh, Thornton beside those two guys. That's interesting."
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of work he doesn't have to do besides shovel pucks in front of the net.
Yeah.
Just keep passing him pucks. Shovel pucks to Matthews
Go
and
in the
Marner.
corner.
Go in the corner.
Who wants to see 4 goals this year? I know I do.
What'll happen then, Mark?
Oh, the fans will see.
The fans.
The fans will see.
Everyone will see.
There's a reason why they call him Jumbo.
Okay, so today's episode is about the Toronto Maple Leafs. And after our 7th inning stretch, we're going to go through the who we predict to be the trophy winners, the major award winners for the NHL season.
Spoiler alert, it's just Philadelphia.
Spoiler alert, it isn't.
So we'll do that. We'll do that at the end.
I've got a Philly guy.
Where do you guys want to start with the Leafs? You guys want to start with Thornton in the top line? What do you think about that?
Start with Thornton because that top line could probably change after.
Okay, let's start with Thornton. Where do you want to?
Sure. Amazing signing.
Yeah,
Has anybody seen his carpool karaoke? The one he did in Switzerland earlier this year?
we should retweet that from our account. We should probably do that.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
So I started watching it the other day, and I was like, "Yo, why isn't he wearing a mask?" But he only had that like shield thingy.
There's like a plastic
Yeah,
shield
there's
in
like a
between
plastic
him and the driver.
shield thing beside the driver, and then I'm like scrolling through. I'm like, "Oh man, I don't understand a single word the comments are." I'm like, "Oh yeah, he was in Switzerland earlier this year." Started watching the carpool karaoke thing. It is friggin' hilarious.
So it's Joe Thornton doing like a
Swiss
version
of carpool karaoke, but it's still in English.
Right. I've seen the video thumbnails, but I got to watch the video too, so I'll go check that out afterwards.
It was good. It's worth the laugh.
So
or worth the 3 minutes for whatever.
hopefully injecting a little bit of. I don't like to speculate about the dressing room and stuff like that, but just because we're not there, and I think it's ridiculous that people do that, but maybe injecting a little bit of, like we said, fun,
Personality,
a little bit of veteran leadership.
Extra confidence for sure.
Oh yeah.
Like, you saw the list of like the most assists for the Canadian division or North Division as they're calling it. It's just like, I think Thornton had double the second guy who is Spezza.
Jason Spezza.
But I think it's the top 10 list. It's a top 10 assists, and half of them are Leafs.
I don't know.
But none of them got those assists on the Leafs.
Yeah, well, I
Thornton,
just
Spezza, Simmons, I think, is on there too.
I just know Thornton is at like 1,080 something, and then Spezza
was
second at like
just over
590.
500, just under 6.
Let me teach you kids how to assist.
Yeah.
I think, okay, so when they signed Thornton, it was about a week after
Yeah, it was a week after.
about a week after. So the news came about in waves for us in Leafs Nation. And when the rumors came about, I think we were all of us around the table were sort of like, okay, here's just another one. The Leafs can't sign everybody. Kyle Dubas can't sign. There's no way they can come up to this season with 6 forward lines. And apparently they can. They have about that many forwards that
Sure
are.
you can. We just contradict ourselves and have no defense.
Yeah.
But they still spent money on defense.
But when the rumors came out for Thornton, it was like, that's, that'd be cool, that'd be great. I know I have a few buddies that are, San Jose or Joe Thornton fans that are like, this would be amazing.
Yeah, that's a nice fantasy in my dream.
Yeah. Well, he's sort of like the Wayne Simmons.
He's been talked about the last couple of years. I like the Wayne Simmons coming here, but because he's a Scarborough boy.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But for just in terms of Thornton, my concern when I started to hear the rumors and then when he finally signed was, okay, that's great and everything, but where is he going to fit in with this young group? And I imagine without getting too hockey about it and starting, to use all these terminologies that everyone else uses. I just didn't see how he would fit into a lineup. Like, is he going to play center on the third line? And now you have a 41-year-old and a 30-something-year-old Spezza centering your third.
Anchoring your bottom two lines.
That are supposed to be, or could be deployed as checking lines on a regular basis. So, like, what are we sort of going too far in the other direction now?
Well, Thornton kind of seems
a
like
little
one of
slower?
those shithead kind of players, though. Out there, like he's an agitator, even though he's like
Oh, he's
he's
a bit of a
definitely
dirty fucker too.
He's definitely a Hall of Famer, like gold medal. Like
He knows how to use his stick as a weapon.
he just he just wants a Stanley Cup to add to his
His resume.
accolades.
I think everyone would.
Yeah, well,
Mark, you've watched him a little bit more, I guess, over the past few years, haven't you? You seem to
San
know
Jose
him.
was better, but
Yeah,
not so much like the last couple years, just because they've been trending to become dog shit. But
but
guy
you're
can still make passes like nobody else can in the league.
and he knows how to bully people a little bit.
yeah,
Well,
he's a big guy.
He's kind of been shown to do that.
Yeah,
Kadri had to Kadri tried to take his powers by ripping his beard off his face. I was at that game too. We just see this little ball on the ice from the nosebleeds. We're like, what the fuck is that? And then I didn't realize Kadri ripped his beard out until I checked went on the Twitter at the intermission. I was like, that's fucking hilarious.
Oh my god.
Does he have a beard right now?
It's
growing back.
It's it's starting to get a little more out of control than it was.
So it looks
in
like
the
mine
summer.
But gray.
Similarly.
Yeah, but great.
It has more experience, Ian.
Yeah,
It has
Oh,
more.
that's
It has
good.
more. A few more kilometers on it. Okay. In terms of Thornton's passing, like, there's no way that he's not still elite. Like, he's elite passing, elite vision. My concern was just transporting the puck from the
A to B.
from the whether neutral zone to offensive zone, getting the puck
Well,
out and in.
If he's transitioning to wing, wingers do half the work anybody else does on the ice.
In terms of distance.
But
In
like,
terms of distance and
responsibility.
he's playing
in
with
terms of
Matthews,
distance and responsibility.
but he's playing with Matthews and Marner. They'll transport it for him.
Well, that's why I was really excited when I saw that he was on the first line when he was penciled in. And apparently, and this has to do a little bit more with Sheldon Keefe being on the same page as Kyle Dubas and them working together. The pitch apparently to Thornton was that, hey, we'd like you not to be on a third line.
Fourth line, yeah.
We want you to be in the top
Yeah.
beside Matthews and Marner.
I feel like you're disabling his talents, putting him with third
Lower
line
skilled
grinder,
guys,
skilled
grinder,
guys.
shutdown
Exactly.
players. Yeah, why don't you play right into his wheelhouse? Put him with a couple of players that are fantastic, like phenomenally talented. Have we even seen their peak yet?
Who?
Matthews and Marner.
Oh God, no, not even close.
No,
Let's put Thornton with a couple guys that are still on the way up, that have energy, that want the puck on their stick all the time. I don't know what it's going to be like for Thornton with the puck. There's only one puck. There's
Yeah.
three guys that want the puck on their stick. So I think they're all going to have to learn a little bit how to live with
Yeah,
each other. But
but
I don't
Thornton,
think
like,
they're going to have to.
But I think once they
worry about
realize that Thornton's going to be feeding them tap-ins every
Yeah.
single time he has the puck, it's going to be a lot easier to give him the puck in the offensive zone.
Yeah.
Thornton definitely likes giving the puck to his teammates.
The hardest part, I think, that line is going to be if teams learn how to force a breakout down Thornton's wings, if that's a line moving forward.
if they isolate him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Marner and Matthews are able to get the puck out of the defensive zone cleanly, that line is going to dominate every single fucking game they play. But if teams somehow manage to hem that thing into the zone but Thornton is so good at fucking passing that maybe he'll just get the puck out of the zone every single time. It's up the boards to him.
Yeah, he'll take the hit,
Maybe.
make a nice little chip, and Matthews and Marner will be up in the zone, and Thornton will fly in slowly, maybe.
Well, the good thing about
He'll get there eventually, but then he'll make a one tap pass to Matthews, and Matthews is like, "Oh, look,
Yeah.
I shoot puck."
the good thing about the size is just his reach. Is you got to reach 3 of your stick lengths to get the puck away from him.
How
Just 'cause
tall is
he's-
he? Is he like 6'3",
He's
6'4"?
7. I think he's 8 feet tall.
8 feet tall. Yeah.
Fuck.
I think he's 8'14".
Is that like with the beard?
Yeah.
Does the beard add to your height?
Yeah, the longer the beard, the more wizard powers you have.
Wizard
You know how it
powers.
works, Ian. Plus 5 tall attributes.
I was going to say +5 to yeah. Okay, so you know what? Actually, so looking at the narrative with the Leafs, we all have heard it, and I don't want to go into depth on it, but the top 4 forwards, the big 4 forwards, the big 4 contracts, the big hole that has been staring us in the face for the past 4 years, I think, is You have two centers that are two of the best in the league. You have two right wingers, Nylander, Marner, who are the best in the league. We really haven't had a first line left winger.
Zachary Hyman.
Yeah, but yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Dash
no.
S.
Yeah.
The thing was Hyman. I love Hyman. He's like a dog
Oh, so
after
do
a
I.
bone. He has earned every bit of ice time, and I love that those top line guys love playing with him. But he's not. And listen, this is no insult for me to say that. Hey, I don't think you're a first line player on the best league in the world is by no means an insult. But it's just like
He really isn't a first line
he's
player.
not a first line player. You just look around at some of those elite first lines, and they're elite. And Hyman is an elite work ethic. He's amazing. He can spot there, but I never felt he was a permanent fix. I just felt the puck stopped at him a little bit too much.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Was half of his goals last year like empty netters?
Not half.
But close.
Like, he had a
And you know what?
percentage of them, but man, a lot of friggin' there's a reason why you're out there getting empty netters. Though.
Yeah.
Tip of the cap for the work ethic and
Yeah.
for putting yourself in the position to
Actually,
be
he'll
trusted
still
by
be
the
out.
coach.
He'll still be
Yeah.
out there at that point.
Sure, and I trust him 100%. It's just on a regular basis on the
First line work ethic just doesn't have first line skill.
And I don't think anyone could argue with that. I mean, if you want to argue with us, let us know. But I don't
You just
think...
wish there were some first line skilled guys who put in first line work ethic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just think how good those guys would be sometimes. If they did it
Sometimes.
every single time. Like
Yeah. Wow,
some
Mark.
other players
It's almost
do.
like you have someone in mind.
No, I'm not throwing no names out.
I understand. But now I think it's perfect. You sign Joe Thornton to, he's got a role in the room. Now he's got a role on the ice, and he doesn't have to carry the play, and he can be himself in a skilled position and on a skilled line with players that adore him from what it sounds like. And why wouldn't you? But is it almost... I mean, I hope it works out because on paper, it almost looks too good to be true. You solve one problem, not having him be a checking line player, and you also give these
Can
guys
you
what
list
they
any
need.
cons?
That's
Can you write down any cons? Just try and we've only
Old.
listed pros. You got
Old, he is +5 to all skills, but like
So it's like your only deterrent is his age then?
base. Yeah, I
That's it?
mean,
It's
still
not a bad
see-
deterrent because
No.
He still seems like a young guy. He is a little slow, but he doesn't
apparently
have to.
his speed isn't. They were surprised how fast he was. And Mark, before we
they
start
said
recording,
that about Marlowe too as well. So
Yeah, but that was one of his more positive stat was
Yeah.
his speed.
Mark, before we started recording, you threw out a little factoid about wingers versus centers.
they do like half the work and they skate half the distance. They have like probably half the responsibility. So it's a lot easier for Thornton to just go out there. No.
Yeah, you don't have to skate. You still have to play.
You still have to play hockey. You still have to fucking work hard and back check. But like the
You're not playing the
extra
whole 200 feet.
responsibilities that there is with a center as opposed to playing the wing is fucking like astronomical.
Yep, and you just say we don't need to do that, not right now anyway, and just go have fun.
As
with
much
the boys.
as much as people might say it's like, oh, wingers still have to work hard, blah blah blah. You don't have to work nearly as hard as a fucking center.
No, wingers are the least work. Like, I'm not to say that hockey players don't work hard, but I think wingers have the easiest job on the ice.
Oh yeah, okay, that's what I mean. Not work hard because they're all working the same hardness. It's
Just
your
relatively
job's
speaking,
a lot easier. Yeah.
Like, sorry guys, I'm. If you're a winger out there and you're like, hey, we work just, listen, not everyone can be above average. That's not mathematically possible. That's not how math works. Someone on the ice has to have. Listen, the backup goaltender is a pretty good job too. Like, that's pretty easy. But
that's what I'll say. Like Claude Giroux was an elite center probably 5 years ago, and the best thing that's ever happened to his game recently is transition to winger because he stopped being able to skate a full 200 feet game anymore, and his game's gotten better since moving over to the wing because he's less focused on having to play every single situation. He just has to focus on chipping the puck out of the zone and getting it to Coots.
Yep.
Rejoining the play.
Narrow down what you have on your plate. It sounds as though we're big on Thornton and we like him playing on the top line. So why don't sort of along that same line, in terms of for the second unit, they have Jimmy Vesey beside Tavares and Nylander. And again, you're not bumping Hyman down to the second line. You're actually putting him on the third line. And I think Jimmy Vesey, I haven't watched him play very much. After that, 4 years ago, and there was a few teams interested in him. He had a few okay years.
He came out pretty hot when he was with the Rangers, and then kind of sizzled out. And
He's Yeah, he's only been he's only played 4 seasons in the NHL, right? Like, still young.
He's still and what?
He's
18,
27.
18 goals a couple times.
He went 16, 17, 17.
That's pretty. That's
his
not
first
bad.
3 years. But like, he didn't have crazy point totals like 27, 28, 35.
Yeah, 27 years old.
Last year he only had 20 points. He was a plus on Buffalo though. That's always an impressive stat on a shit team.
That's
much-
not too bad.
But he's a big guy, 6'3".
Is he really?
6'3", 200 pounds.
Yeah, and he has
Well, the thing
maybe
is, he's going to be on that line to just produce off of. All he has to do is put up numbers, and if he can't put up numbers playing with Nylander and Tavares, then
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's
But
what Hyman's
Give them a guy with
winning.
high end skill. Give them a guy that you're giving Tavares and Nylander another guy that has it's a show me contract without a doubt.
Oh, yeah.
And hey, go and produce with these guys. Go and show us that you have some top or middle 6 forward skill that you can slot in and build some chemistry with these guys.
Mikheyev is there as soon as that stops working.
Or Hyman.
Or Hyman.
Mikheyev was unreal with Tavares last
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Yeah, and
before he got
he's
So-
on that third line as well.
Do you know who he was playing with on Buffalo last year? I doubt it was
Fucking
Eichel.
Buffalo. Why do I care?
I know, but like,
I just care that they have Eichel and Dahlin.
yeah, I just hope it wasn't Eichel because like 20 points isn't very impressive.
I have no idea. I
It was-
doubt
oh,
it though.
no,
I
yeah, I
read
think
today
it
that
was-
Jeff Skinner's been practicing on the 4th line in Buffalo.
Good.
Neat.
What is he, an $8 million player practicing on the 4th line?
Yikes. Well, the Leafs don't have one of those right now.
No. I'm pretty sure after the top 6, everyone's $1 million. Oh, Kerfoot. And then everyone's $1 million.
Kerfoot. And I don't think Kerfoot's going to start the year. Kerfoot, I believe, is injured. He's a minor injury right now.
I don't know.
Which hopefully
I read he had an injury, but I don't know what it is.
gets through that shortly. Because I didn't mind that third line, man. Like Kerfoot, Mikheyev, and Hyman. So a workhorse line. I don't know if we really had anything much like that.
I'm impartial with Curve. Like he just does what he does.
Same.
Like,
Yeah, I don't love it, don't hate it. I feel like he goes into the corner and maybe this is just the eye test, but whereas Hyman would go into the corner and you knew he'd come out with the puck, Kerfoot was not quite as much.
I guess so.
He's kind of like, I don't want to say Hyman light, but he just didn't have the same.
I just feel
Thump?
like he's there till they find somebody to replace him.
Oh, maybe. Well,
Like-
they got the contract there.
Yeah, they have the contract.
How long is that contract for,
A
Greg?
couple more years.
I know you had your
Couple more.
fucking...
They signed him to
Cap
a
friendly.
deal when they got him in the Kadri deal, I think. Trade.
I know he's
Kerfoot.
3.5. That's all I remember.
It's not an awful salary, so it's definitely tradable. I just think if there's the chance to get an upgrade on 3rd line center, you would take it over him.
I don't know,
any
but
time of day.
he's still young too. Like, he's only 26. I thought he was older than that, honestly.
3 years left.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
No.
But if you get something better, I would.
Well, okay, so look at it this way: of the 3 contracts that were bantered about, the 3 players that were bantered about this offseason, Kerfoot, Andreas Janssen,
And Cap.
and Kasperi Kapanen. Look at the return that Dubas got for Kapanen. He basically got Rodion Amirov for the 15th overall pick, and
traded him back to Pittsburgh.
yeah,
too.
traded him back to Pittsburgh. So hope he has success in Pittsburgh.
It makes that trade look even better for the Leafs.
Yeah, and we got that Hollander kid.
If Amirov turns out good,
Amirov was one of the few players on Russia that I thought.
didn't suck.
Yeah, well, I
don't know
I
if-
was going to be that blunt, Mark, but okay.
I don't know if the announcers just said his name more or something because Canada,
It's Tirana.
because of Toronto.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He seemed to have his name said a lot, so that means he's got the puck on his stick or he's close to it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I didn't take any salary cap back on the Kapanen trade. You know what? I wanted to bring up with Andreas Janssen, fantastic player, and I liked him watching him in the AHL too.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I thought of those 3 guys that Andreas Janssen would be the one that Dubas would hang on to, because remember Dubas was the general manager of the Marlies when they won the Calder Cup, and I know what people might say. Oh, it's the AHL, the AHL champions. Who gives a fuck? Well, so I mean, okay, that's your opinion. I'm not going to try to change your mind, but it's still one of the hardest trophies to win in North American professional sports. Just it is like it's still a trophy. It's still important in a developmental league
Kapanen
too.
on that team too.
I don't know.
I think
if
he
was or not. I know, but Andreas Janssen was the MVP of
Of the playoffs.
Yeah, of the playoffs. phenomenal. He was basically outclassing AHL players.
Yeah, he didn't play the first round of the playoffs there too because he at least in the first round against Boston.
That's
year.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. He went back and played with them right after the Leafs got booted.
Eliminated.
So I just thought that
Relationship kind of.
yeah, that bond, yeah, exactly, was strong with Dubas and Andreas Janssen. So just when he traded when Andreas Janssen was traded over to New Jersey, it was sort of Kyle Dubas saying, "Hey, I got to sort of put my big boy pants on too and break some of these relationships that I've had with these players." So I know it. He just seems like a third line guy with
I also
the
don't think
Leafs.
Dubas wanted to give up a center.
Ultimately, I think that's all what it is as well.
Yeah.
But trading Andreas Janssen, we got Joey Anderson back, who
Didn't make the squad this year.
didn't make the squad,
Well,
but he's
that
there.
listed roster this year. You never know what happens moving forward.
Yeah, I think he'll have a spot on the Leafs at some
Or at least for
point in
sure.
the next couple years. But I just think that moving Andreas Janssen out was such a. It was kind of like a
Where do you go?
Showed you
moment.
the business
Was
side of the fucking-
exactly the business side. Of it.
Jersey? Is that where
Yeah,
he
he
Yeah,
traded
traded
to
New Jersey.
New
Yeah,
Jersey,
that's
where
what I
he'll
thought.
play top 6, where he should play, and have a chance to do that there.
Well, yeah, just him kind of getting injured as well. It's like, and I feel like him and Cap, they've always like just thrown around where they need him. Like, hey, you're gonna play first line tonight. Hey, you're third line tomorrow. It's like they didn't really let him get settled either here, and it's just like give him a chance somewhere where maybe they will get settled.
And
Like Kapanen could be on the first line with Crosby for all we know, or he's playing probably
Kapanen, I
with
think
Malkin.
Kapanen's still in Finland right now.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's got a visa issue or some
Yeah.
crazy thing
Oh,
like
that sucks.
Yeah, that's not great. Wayne Simmons, Leafs signed that guy,
Yeah, I gotta get a New Jersey still.
Scarborough guy. Which jersey are you gonna get, Mark? The blue?
What he did something at the Black Dog, didn't he? Didn't he do like a
He brought the cup.
signing?
You brought the cup.
No, it was Joel Ward.
No, but
When he was with the Capitals.
no, but I thought Simmons did like some kind of like fan thing at.
Oh, he might have. I don't remember seeing it posted anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, you did.
I know he hangs out there occasionally when he's back in the city.
Back in Scarborough. Yeah. So I mean, I think fans were ecstatic. That signing happened immediately after.
I love the signing. It's like you wish you had him 4 years ago.
Oh, 100%.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But man, he's one of my favorite players when he was on the Flyers. I loved watching that guy
Mark,
play.
there's 30 teams
And
in
you
the
know
league
what?
that wish they had him 4 years ago.
You know what he's gonna bring that no other Leaf friggin' really does on the fucking power play that pisses me fucking off? Net front presence.
Tell us about it, Mark.
It's like like half the goals you friggin' score, like more than half the goals in hockey are scored within like 5 feet of the net.
A stick's length of the crease.
I don't get why nobody on the Leafs want to just friggin' go there besides maybe Tavares and Marner when
Go
he's
there
trying
and
to
stand
dangle
there.
the goalie. But
Go there,
like,
stand there, and bully
he's trying
people.
to do that by himself. But like literally, you're gonna have Thornton and Simmons now running amok in the crease
Yeah.
on power plays.
Yeah, those
now.
two guys are hard to move.
Yeah, and you don't like
Ever
like,
try?
how many
I've never
extra
tried.
bounces you get too when you just throw pucks
I'd
there.
assume it's hard.
Like it's a lot easier for a defenseman to step up and block a shot when you're just playing a friggin' outside friggin'
Perimeter.
umbrella. But when you got a guy in front of the net screening on every side, that the one defenseman down low has to focus on him, or else you're just leaving a free stick.
Yeah, instead of a 5-on-4, that's a 4-on-3 now.
And it's a lot easier to score on a 4-on-3 than it is to. It's a lot easier to create 2-on-1s on a 4-on-3.
You know who'd appreciate a 4-on-3? Matthews.
Matthews, who likes to shoot.
Ice-
Marner.
Yeah,
just-
who likes to have ice.
Just room on the ice.
Riley.
Yeah.
I hope they I know it's kind of like overused the power play setup is, but man, the way the Flyers I think when Simmons was on that team where they had Drew and Voracek on opposite sides with Simmons in front of the net.
Is it an umbrella setup?
It's kind of like an umbrella setup, but it's got just Simmons going back and forth, like blocking one-timers, and Giroux just playing on that, like the half boards there, which would be Marner now, just feeding it to like any spot where the Flyer setup was like Marner was on the one side and he had one-timers on the other side to everybody.
Yeah.
So Marner's just feeding one-timers across from the...
So basically, Marner's the quarterback, which is sort of what he was doing before,
Yeah,
and then he had that
Simmons
tip
is
play
in
to
front,
Kadri down low.
And then you got lefties on the other side for one-timers.
for one timer. Is
Simmons is right-handed, I think, but he'll be in front of the net because you can when Marner's on the right side,
Yeah.
you can give it to him on the outside, so you're not forcing the puck.
No,
into
you
the
want
into the lane.
another right-handed shot.
Yeah,
there.
exactly. So it's easier to keep the puck in deep.
And he says he's healthy, but I mean, that is the script.
Everybody says they're healthy.
Like, stick to the script, guys.
Yeah.
If you've never
I
felt better.
I just think he's a
cetera.
little. I just think he's a little slow, but we'll see. He's
For a
playing
guy-
fourth line. Does he penalty kill?
No,
is
he's
he
not
too
that.
slow?
No, he won't. He won't.
Too slow.
No.
Yeah, he's strictly like your third line, fourth line, like truculence,
And-
and he's got some damn good
Pugnacity.
skill for the power play, man.
Belligerence.
Well, and if anyone goes after one of our guys, he's gonna pound their face in.
Well, you know what I think? So I think is
Not
it
pound their face
interesting.
in. Nobody's just gonna go after guys because
No.
we have Simmons now.
Yeah. So along those lines, if you thinking of Thornton on the top line, and I know that so Matthews and Marner are going to be killing penalties, so there goes some minutes there that Thornton's not going to play. But if Thornton maybe once every period doesn't join Matthews and Marner just for minutes,
Or you just stack
Purpose.
the line with Tavares,
or
and you Thornton just run shift at center on the second line quickly.
well, why not just say, hey, Wayne, you're going out there with Mitch and Austin there for a shift. I wouldn't even mind that, like once a period or whatever.
yeah,
Like,
it's just almost bringing the same thing.
yeah,
yeah, except, go
Not-
go
well,
hit
not a
some
skill,
people.
but-
Go hit some
No.
people
Yeah.
and tell some people not to do that thing that they were doing
Yeah.
last shift. You know what
just
I mean?
like, hey, I could be here again later. Watch out.
Hey, I'm here, guys. I just being in the lineup and again too, if the Leafs are playing with a lead, which is not a crazy idea, they're rolling 4 lines. Spezza is going to get tons of ice time, and I guess Barabanov is penciled on that fourth line again.
Barbarian.
Yeah,
Yeah, ba.
we're recording this on January 11th, so we don't. We've the three of us. We didn't get a chance to watch much of the blue and white game, the scrimmage the other night. The Leafs selfishly put the blue and white scrimmage on the same night as our fantasy hockey draft, so I got
How
to.
fucking dare they?
I know. I only got to watch the first period, and I didn't hear Barabanov's name very much, nor did I really have a chance to look at any of these guys too in depth. Tavares scored a nice goal though. Nice little in out on, I can't remember which defenseman it was. It might have been a Marley defenseman. I
But
can't
was
remember.
Anderson was in the net? Though.
Anderson
That
was
the
in
main
net, man.
Thing.
Anderson was in net. Is there? I'm not gonna. I don't. I think the argument for a goalie controversy this early is Toronto media being Toronto media. At the same time, you're going to hear about Frederik Anderson's contract. However successful this season is, you're going to hear about Frederik Anderson's contract more than you are going to want to hear
Well,
about.
His
He has 1 year
contract.
left.
His contract's up after this season.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's got this
And-
season, and that's it.
Is it Riley that's up as well?
No,
or
Riley's
has he got
next
2?
season, I think.
Next year.
He's got. Yeah, I know he's close. But after the guys I picked up this year, it's like if they can continue to do that, like, well, Mikheyev and Dermott kind of signing the team friendly contracts, like it helps.
Yeah, VC.
You mean
Thornton
Nylander
even.
as well?
Yeah, but like VC, like he, whatever. Yeah, Thornton and Simmons, they all took low money. Same with Spezza.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh,
Well,
well,
Spezza was here or nothing.
at least Marner's buying us steak every week this year or something.
Is that the deal?
That better be the deal.
Marner's got. You know, I'd watch that show if that was a reality show, Cooking with Marner, and it's
Yeah.
just Marner in the kitchen with
know,
with Joe and Wayne.
that would be
just-
so funny because the
sitting there?
countertops would be so low and everybody would be so high above the countertops except for Marner.
Mitch is just there cooking. He's like trying to cook steaks.
I know
Joe's
Mitch is
just
like
there
almost
sipping
6
on a
feet tall, but
wine.
I'm just picturing it in my brain as just like this funny cartoon.
I want royalties up. That would be so funny. Cooking with Austin and Mitch.
Yeah.
Or Willie
Oh, no,
and Mitch
no.
or something like that.
No. Austin gets his money. It's Mitch that has to spend it on the team dinners.
Yeah, there you go. So, okay, Anderson though, I think this is a big year for him too. He's traditionally in the 916, 918 range for save percentage. He had a big drop last year. Maybe it's not his fault. If it wasn't for Tyson Barrie stepping in for Muzzin, who was injured for a bit, Riley, who was injured for a bit, and
Dermott was injured.
Dermott. I think even was Ceci out for a
I
little
think-
while?
That's a good thing when CC's out.
I think.
When you're running out of NHL defensemen, though, like
FYI, I'm sorry,
it's still
Pittsburgh.
bad.
Actually, I'm not sorry, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, fuck Pittsburgh.
But so I understand Anderson sort of had a little bit of a dumpster fire in front of him just because of injuries, but Tyson Barrie stepped up in a big way that I think was very underappreciated because there was really no puck moving defenseman when Riley and some of those other guys, like I mentioned, went down. So that didn't help Anderson out. But he's now looking for a bounce back season, and he's
with a better defense core too.
Better
A lot
defense
better,
core.
in my opinion.
Better defense core. Just limiting those, whether it's rebounds or all those scramble chances. Part of the reason Corpusalo
Or
and
not being dog shit at the start of the season.
part of the reason the Columbus goalies had such an easy time was all the shots were perimeter. Just take away the middle, and if the Leafs can do that defensively this year, better than they had before, it makes his job a lot easier. But hey, it's a contract year for him. He better step up because
He needs to get paid.
you see what happened
So-
when Holtby had a couple bad years and then his
Holtby's a lot
contract
older
came out.
than Anderson though, man.
But
But Anderson, this is like a pay year for like this is Anderson's last year for last time for a contract.
How old's Holtby?
I don't know. I think
I don't know if he's
early
that old.
30s.
Yeah. I think
But
so.
I got the games played in front of me.
Okay, yeah, go.
Barry was the only one that played every game. Hull played 68, Justin Hull.
Yeah.
And then the next most was Travis Dermott at 56, CC at 56, Muzzin at 53. It's like no one was even close to a full season at that D squad.
Right. Yes.
Where was Riley? Riley was 47. It's like, so you're filling these empty D spots with non-NHL goaltenders or non-NHL defenders.
Oh, they're the same age. My bad.
Are
Holtby
they
and Anderson?
actually?
It's crazy how Holtby just dropped
Seems.
off the clip of us. Like
Maybe,
Yeah.
hey, maybe he'll do well
Yeah.
this year in Vancouver. Who knows?
Yeah. But again, just as an example of a goalie, hey, that had a couple bad. Basically, he was at one point one of the best goalies in the league. He was like top 3 in the league.
who's that? Holtby?
Holtby.
Anderson had unreal numbers when he was with Anaheim as well before he even got to Toronto.
He still has unreals with
Yeah.
Toronto, but it's kind of what have you done for me lately with goalies? Just because that's sort of how the drop.
Yeah, but Anderson's only had 1 year under 910.
100%. Totally get it. Just don't make it a second one. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
909 is still it's above average. It's still above average in the NHL.
What is the? Do we know what the NHL
No
average
clue.
is?
I think it was like 906 last year.
So
Is it that bad?
the one thing
Dude, last year like goalies were bad last year.
Wow.
so the one thing you brought up
That's rough.
the other day,
Mark brought up. Yeah.
is that Anderson generally has a slow start to the season,
Yes, that's true.
and that could be worse because we're only playing 56 games this season.
What are you trying to say? In the start of the season is going to basically be halfway through the season by the time he could hypothetically turn it around. In a
Or,
regular season, the same number of
like-
games played. It seems abbreviated because we're not playing
Who knows?
the full season.
Who knows? I'm just saying it could be bad. Maybe he doesn't have a slow start this year. Who knows?
That'd be cool. Although no exhibition games doesn't really help.
I think Jack Campbell as a backup is pretty solid as well. Like I don't know if like even Aaron Dell is a number 3. Like if Campbell gets
Really good
injured,
number 3,
it's
man.
like yeah, he's a pretty solid number 3.
Yeah, I know he didn't look. I mean, he didn't look great in San Jose last. I mean, I don't know if anyone looked great in San Jose last year.
You also have to play with Martin Jones. It's like well, it's one
Yeah.
dumpster fire or another, I guess.
But as a number 3 goaltender, man, like I don't like that's perfect.
yeah, I know he was one of Mark's go-to pickups for fantasy
His
goalie.
fantasy
couple
goalies, like a few years ago.
Aaron Dell.
Oh yeah, he was
Yeah.
fucking dope.
Not
but
last
that's
year,
when
the year
San Jose
before.
didn't, like,
Yeah.
Suck.
I think that was 2-3 years ago or something. He'd always have decent numbers.
Well, the strange thing, I look back at that actually, and Jones and Dell. Now we're talking about the Sharks for a minute, but both their save percentages dropped the same year.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and correct myself. The league average in save percentage last year was 910, so Anderson was off by 0.1.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
So that
he's-
could have been one game.
Whatever.
That could have been.
yeah.
yeah.
So let's call it right on average,
He had an average. His first average season in the NHL.
which is still off of his career,
yeah.
right? But it's for Frederick Anderson, who has been a top 10 goaltender over the course of his contract over the past 4 seasons. I don't think anyone would argue that he's been a top 10 goaltender. Go ahead and try to name 10 goaltenders that have continued to be a starter.
For that
4
many,
years,
yeah.
and that's hard to do.
2 different teams as well.
Yeah.
So I'd love to have, a bounce back in quotation marks year just back to his standards would be great for
like
everyone.
honestly, I just hope the defense play well in front of him, and it makes him want to come back as well.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a place where like you're doing all the work because the defense in front of you is shit, do you want to be there again?
I mean, I guess if you're buddies with Austin.
Yeah. Well, maybe him and Austin go somewhere else.
Uh-oh. Start the rumor mill. But I liked watching Jack Campbell. I think he only played 5 or 6 games before the mess.
Even that.
And
that.
I mentioned this in one of our earlier episodes. We were talking about the World Juniors. I just liked watching him play, and I've sort of paid attention to him over the past 10 years, just where he's gone, and the teams that he's bounced around. Every couple of years, I'd be like, hey, where's that American goalie that I liked watching the juniors 10 years ago?
Yeah, he was. He played 6 games.
And what were his numbers like?
He had 3 wins, a 2.6 goals against average, and a 9.15. So not bad.
That's, you know what?
For a backup goalie, that's solid.
Yeah, that's above league average according to
Yep.
Mark. That's so that's pretty good. I'm not gonna start to stir the goaltender controversy mill, but I also don't really care for people guessing how many games each of them are gonna play. But I would say 2/3 to Anderson, 1/3 to Campbell.
At least. Well, like I brought it up before. I looked it up. The Leafs schedule, they have 9 back-to-back games, so that's a guaranteed 9 starts probably for Campbell.
Yeah, out
Plus-
of what, 56?
Yeah.
56. Yeah.
So yeah.
So there you go. That's that. I think what'll be interesting with this baseball style, in quotation marks, schedule, playing 3 and 4 game series, it's different than the playoffs because obviously you play 4, 5, 6, or 7 game series in a row. Playoff style hockey, playing regular hockey that we know to be the 82 game regular season. Those 3rd and 4th games in a series, are they going to benefit the goaltending and defense, or are they going to benefit the offense? Like, are we going to see offense trend up towards the end of a series, or are we going to see the defense trend up towards the end of a series? So
Well, and that could even be like a reason, like, hey, Anderson, do you want to start again against Edmonton? It's like, no, let Jack have the game.
yeah.
It's like Anderson.
Although he'd never say that.
Anderson gets lit up, but it's just like, yeah, well,
Well, like the back-to-back against the teams, though, like the Leafs play Edmonton back-to-back days, but it's Saturday, Monday.
Back to back, but not back to back.
Yeah,
In
Leafs play Winnipeg a
in
Thursday,
sequence.
Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday in sequence. There's no back-to-back, but it's all in sequence.
no, I was just saying there's only 9 back-to-back.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, but like,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like they could
The
have
back-to-backs
condensed it even
aren't-
more if they gave like back-to-backs against teams.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's not a lot of.
Yeah, like for example, Anderson would not be starting all 3 games against Montreal. I can't see that happening.
Even if it's a day apart.
I can't, I mean, unless you listen, if you get a shutout, good for you, and you saw them foiled. But I just think as a series goes on, I do think it benefits the goaltender, just because you've seen.
Oh
the
yeah,
shooters.
you've seen the shooter.
There's only so many things a shooter can
Well,
do
you
differently with under
You have to
time
be
and
a good
space
goalie
pressure.
though. If the shooters are better
Yep.
than you, then you're fucked.
If you're outclassed, you're outclassed.
Yeah.
But I don't think Frederik Anderson's going to be outclassed. Having said that, I'd love to see Jack Campbell play more, just because I like watching him play. I don't not like
Whatever.
watching Anderson play, but I kind of just, for somebody who likes watching goalies, I like watching. He's just more fun to watch, in my mind. Yep.
I really don't pay attention to goalie play style like you do because you're a goaltender,
Yep.
obviously. But like, I like how Anderson plays. He's a good goaltender. It's just, I don't know. Some games he's on, and some games maybe the defense isn't on.
Maybe the defense is on. Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of defense, the Leafs, they added some defensemen. Isn't it funny how, hey, nobody, did you hear the story about Zach Bogosian and the meeting between the Leafs and how it was canceled?
No.
So maybe just for anyone who didn't hear that story, when Bogosian was released by the Sabres, so Bogosian started last year with the Sabres, he was waived or released or cut, whatever the terminology is. He had a meeting set up with the Toronto Maple Leafs
So last year.
last season. That meeting was supposed to take place right before, around the trade deadline, right before the trade deadline. That meeting just so happened to be scheduled between Kyle Dubas and Zach Bogosian. This is according to an interview with Bogosian.
Yeah.
The interview was supposed to take place the day after the Leafs played the Carolina Hurricanes, which turned into the David Ayres fiasco. Kyle Dubas basically calls up Bogosian's people and said, "Hey, we're not interested. We're going in a different direction. We got to we got to see what the young kids can do because that gives a fucking embarrassment." Long story short, so Bogosian doesn't come to the Leafs. He ends up going to this some fucking team named Tampa Bay Lightning.
David Ayres,
When-
you got Bogosian a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, basically.
if so facto, that's according to an interview I saw with Bogosian over the summer. But
That's pretty funny.
it's kind of funny how that
That's
works out.
hilarious.
But hats off to a guy who just won a cup. He's got his name on the thing now. He probably, I don't know what the offers are out there, but I'm sure he could have gotten a little bit more money. It's somewhere with, better taxes and fewer taxes.
Whatever.
And more term or whatever, and been a little bit more anonymous, but he wants to come to Toronto. He knows what he's going to get into here. He was interested in coming here prior, There was interest prior.
Yeah, I didn't know there was interest prior. Like I don't even know if I paid attention to when he actually got signed this year. It was just like, when Bogosian get on Toronto?
Yeah, it was a little bit later, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we're not gonna look
that's
at
what
the
I mean.
Yeah, it wasn't the first day or two, I don't believe. But regardless, I mean, hey, a guy that just won a cup.
Oh, it's like he's better than CC.
Yeah, well, yeah. And a guy that NHL pedigree if he plays on the top pair with Riley a little bit,
He won't.
sure. If he plays on the bottom pair, even sure. Yeah. Hey man, do whatever
Just
you
don't
want.
turn the puck over.
Yeah,
and
just be better than CC and Marinson.
and go
That's
bully
your
some
measuring
people.
stick. CC and Marinson.
Yeah,
it's pretty
like-
low.
Yeah, it's
pretty
very low.
It's-
So
I
like,
probably have to dig a hole to set the measuring stick.
Wow. It's buried. Riley looks like he could have a bounce back here. I'm excited to see Riley healthy and
it's not even a bounce back. Like, he didn't have a bad year. He was
No.
just injured.
Let's just hope for a healthy year.
And he
sure, yeah. Let's call it that.
also starting the year last year, he wasn't quarterbacking the power play.
He gave that spot up to Barry just so he would have a role essentially.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's what 72 point season he had 2 years ago. That was incredible. I mean, people are screaming for him to be in the Norris conversation, which listen, Riley's not going to be a Norris candidate as long as the Leafs defense and the narrative, more specifically, the narrative around the Leafs defense is bad.
Or if he puts up 100 points.
Or if he puts up 100 points and gets Bob Orr numbers, then maybe then the Toronto media will still be
No, he'll still
complaining
be a
about
minus,
something.
and the team will be like, no, he didn't do enough. He was only a -1.
He was a minus 100 points, not good enough.
Even a point per game as a defenseman, like, that'd still be impressive.
He didn't do it over an 82 game regular season.
Yeah, it doesn't
He's
matter.
not good enough.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Send him to the Shadow Realm.
Oh my god, I thought it was interesting when I was reading Dom Lucian's article on the Athletic, and he called Riley the biggest wild card, one of the biggest wild cards in the league, just because is he going to be that elite defenseman and take steps for what we saw 2 years ago? And remember, he did that not playing with a very good D partner. Like, who's the best D partner Riley's ever had?
Carl Gunnarsson?
I'm gonna say Ron Hainsey, and but Ron Hainsey has been a
Hainsey
sick
was good.
defenseman. It's just we didn't get it. We got him at the end of his career.
He was just old
He
and slow.
Ron Hainsey was pretty friggin' good on the Atlanta Thrashers. Now, and that's hard to play defense on the Atlanta Thrashers. They were bad. They were terrible.
Mike Komisarek?
Did he ever play with
No,
Komisarek? Just to throw defenseman out there?
Enough?
He played with Phaneuf for a bit, but I mean, in
Gardner?
terms of
Yeah, but the guy they picked up to play with him this year is
I didn't mind
probably
Gardner.
probably
Riley, actually.
yeah, but they never played together.
A little bit.
Not very
Not
often.
not much.
And it's funny because there is a left and a right.
I feel
No,
like
they're both left.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
Gardner was a right wing or right shot.
I still love Gardner's backwards crossovers through neutral zone, though. I know
yeah,
some people
he
hate
also
it.
got waived today.
waived
I
So
today.
know. Yeah, waved by Carolina. But
So was Reimer.
yeah,
yeah,
Leafs.
both by the former Leafs, by the Carolina Hurricanes. There you go. But Riley, this is the first time in his career he's playing with a legit top pair defense partner. So let's see what
Oh,
happens.
yeah, Brody.
Yeah.
TJ Brody.
TJ
I
Brody.
was like, oh, yeah, Brody.
Who's that guy? Who's that
Yeah.
guy that, you know what? And if that at the end of the game, if you say that at the end of the game, oh yeah, TJ Brody, I think TJ Brody would have done his job.
That means he
to
did
a
his job.
T.
What does he play with Giordano, or did he play with Giordano in?
Yes.
Like, that was the D pair.
I think so.
most of the time, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about the guy. I know he's a good player. Like, he seems
Good
like
skater.
a solid player out there, but
Well, he's
not a numbers guy.
they say he's sort of a Swiss Army knife. He's a utility defenseman. He's not excellent at anything, but he's very good at everything.
Oh yeah,
And you know what?
I like
Don't turn the puck over,
I
man.
take it.
Yeah.
Don't turn the puck over.
be better than CC.
Be better in CC and Marinson, man.
And a guy like Jake Muzzin at last year's trade deadline.
We already know what Muzzin is.
I know, but the thing was, it's like if you'd gotten a defenseman, if the Leafs could go to get a second Jake Muzzin And that's sort of
Can
you know
they
what?
have 5 Jake Muzzins
I
and
think
one
Dubas
Morgan
said that
Riley?
exact same thing. I've been saying that since we got Jake Muzzin. It's like if we could duplicate this guy and make a second to this guy, that would be perfect.
But nobody wants to give away their Jake Muzzin because they're so valuable to a team.
Every team wants a Jake Muzzin.
Everyone
team needs a
one
fucking
or
Jake
two
Muzzin.
Jake. Exactly.
And honestly, I like watching Hull play with Muzzin last year. I think Hull's kind of upping like his game into
kind of like
what
off
Jake.
topic a little bit, but like it's like Tom Wilson. Every team needs a fucking Tom Wilson. That's
And
why
that's why we got
he's probably going to
Simmons.
spend a career with Washington because every team friggin' needs a guy like that.
I mean, this is a conversation for our
For another
divisional
story,
episodes,
but
yeah,
No,
but-
I'm talking about Jake Muzzin in the same sense.
yeah,
Like
sure.
he brings a pedigree that where everybody's so skilled in the NHL, but they bring a pedigree that so few people in the league still do.
Muzzin, man,
He's
'Cause
also
let's be honest,
also a winner.
That type of player is dying out. It's becoming a dying breed.
yeah,
For
sure.
He's also a winner.
He's won a thing.
He's won a couple things.
So Muzzin's one of those guys where if in a pinch he could quarterback the power play.
Yeah,
He can
he still
penalty
has
kill.
he still has a good shot.
Maybe not over like a 4-week span, but if
No,
you had to
in a
force
pinch.
him in there in a game
exactly.
or two, yeah,
In a pinch. It's like,
Oh
hey,
yeah,
literally everyone on our defense needs to tie their skates.
yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. No,
We need you to power. It's hey, Riley. Remember that thing Mitch did? He tied his skates to the blue line. Okay, don't do that. We're okay to throw Muzzin out there.
I still can't believe he did that on the ice. It's like, is he actually fucking tying his skate?
I
I
thought-
scoring chance right after it too.
I thought that was amazing. Just because, like, who does that? His hands are so silky, he could tie his
Imagine
skates on
somebody
the
just
fly.
kind of like he's got his finger ran over.
Oh,
It's like, Mitch, how'd you end your career? I was trying to tie my skates on the ice mid game.
good story
Why-
for
why
Mitch's
you gotta
cooking
bring that
show.
up?
Fuck. You know what? Hall.
Taylor?
No.
Oh, Justin.
Yeah.
Mark,
So yeah. Man, wasn't Hall in the East Coast League?
Cole?
Yeah. Dubas
I don't know.
Dubas picked him up from an ECHL team.
I thought they drafted him.
They put him on the Marlies. He succeeded on the Marlies. Ian, can you look that up real quick? Just
Draft by Chicago,
Yeah.
second round,
Yeah.
2010,
and
54th overall.
then
He's 28. What else do you want to fucking know?
nailed it.
He played 2 games in Toronto 2 years ago. He played 11 games in Toronto. Oh no, 2 games in Toronto 3 years
Where did
ago.
he start his career out though? Like after being drafted, does it have anything
It doesn't.
besides
No,
NHL
I'm just
stats?
on NHL fucking
okay.
.com. So they'll only have NHL stats.
Right. I think
Player bio.
Can you look up Hockey DB real quick and just like Justin Hall?
Oh man, my hands are cold.
After signing the Blackhawks, Hull played Indy of the ECHL.
Yeah.
There you
okay.
go.
There you go. Perfect.
ding 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 ding.
So
ding.
Ian wins a prize. Ian wins a turkey.
Yeah,
dinner.
and he signed an AHL contract with Toronto in 2015, 2016.
Yes. So he's a I don't want to say scrap heap reclamation project.
Oh, wait.
but
He played NCAA.
Got him for nothing.
Probably growing up.
No. It says he was drafted, and then he attended University of Minnesota, where he
Yeah.
had 38 points, 8 goals, 30 assists, in 142 games during the seasons. And he helped Golden Gophers advance to NCAA final in 2014. So he played NCAA, went to ECHL, and
Was
then the
unsigned.
Leafs signed him after that.
He was probably unsigned by
unsigned by Blackhawks.
by the Blackhawks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hey, literally, basically, you find a guy from the scrap heap
Yeah, that's a nice
reclamation
find.
project, and now he's an NHL starter, top 4 NHL player. Man, tip of the cap.
Top
Justin
4 is
Hall.
debatable, but
Top 4 on
He is.
Toronto, maybe.
He's penciled in as top 4. If he was top 6, still doesn't matter.
yeah,
he's an
top
NHL
six.
regular.
We'll call him a top 6 defenseman.
I don't mind calling him a top 6 defenseman. He's in the top 4 right now. If he gets booted, cool. But
That's-
he's in the starting lineup.
He's only played 81 games in the NHL as well. So.
yeah.
He's in the top 4 on the Leafs roster, but I don't think he's a top 4 NHL defenseman.
Yeah, that's debatable.
How about a guy named Mikko Lehtinen coming over from the KHL? What do you think of him?
No clue.
don't know.
Tell me about him.
Yeah, well, he's a guy. So here's my thing with
Like you hear the stats, you see the
I've
highlights.
seen the replays on TSN and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, show me what you can do.
Cool,
in the game.
yeah.
Exactly.
I'm like, yeah,
Come over and do it
cool,
here.
yeah.
This is the thing that
Last
I've
time we had a shiny new toy from Russia. That
It didn't work
we
out.
traded it to
well
Ottawa.
along those lines. So Nikita Zaitsev, he was in the KHLs in Russia, I
Yeah.
believe. And okay, yeah, exactly. You saw all those highlights. He was an offensive defenseman. You saw him on these put up points, power play quarterback, and they come over. They bring him over to the Leafs, and what do they make him do? Kill penalties. So it drives me crazy when people like, okay, it's fair to criticize his passing, his 5-on-5. That's fair. It didn't translate over. He's in the NHL right now. He's got a contract, so he's obviously not the worst thing in the world. But if you bring a guy up from your minor league system or bring a guy over from anywhere, and it's like, hey man, you're a shortstop. We need you to be a catcher. And he's like, well, okay, I'll try, and he's not a good catcher. You're like, well, what the hell, man? And the fans get on him for not being a good catcher.
That's Toronto's media. They're like, hey, what the hell? This guy's shit. It's like, I don't know.
But
I don't like they even tried him as like a second power play quarterback. I'm pretty sure at one point, and really never really.
No,
I don't
they
know.
didn't really give him a
His
chance
game just-
to.
Maybe his game just didn't translate to the smaller ice.
Yeah.
That's also possible, 100%. So speaking of Mikko Lehtinen, I just hope the same thing doesn't happen to him. I just hope he's not an offensive defenseman over in Russia, over in Europe. They bring him over expecting him to be an offensive juggernaut in the NHL.
Yeah, let's hope he turns into Panarin of defensemen.
Yeah, so I mean, let's hope the sky's the limit, but also let's be a little more realistic. He's until he actually plays a game, until he actually shows consistently on a nightly basis that he's worthy of being in the top 6. He's like our Family Guy reference. He's a box,
A mystery box.
He's a mystery box. So until then,
could be a boat, but it's probably just a box.
until then, he's nothing. Like he's a guy. He could be a thing,
Yeah.
but I guess you'd have to put Sandin above him
Do you
because
do you
he's
have
played
him in
games.
that top 6?
Well, he currently is. He's quarterback in the second power play.
Yeah, good.
Really? Oh, that's where they have it.
Yeah.
Actually, so that then they don't have. Who don't they have then? Bogosian, Hall, or Dermott?
Dermott, I believe, is outside the top 6.
No,
right
Dermott's
now.
in it now.
So
Oh,
that
is he
means
really?
Hall's
Yeah.
out of it.
Yeah, Hall and Bogosian are flip flopping.
Oh, okay.
All
So
right,
I
well,
think Sandin, because Liljegren and Martinson were the last two defensemen
To go down. Yep.
go down.
Yep.
Then you're left with Riley, Brody,
Yep.
Lettinen, Dermott, Hall,
Muzzin.
Muzzin,
Sandin,
Sandin, and Bogosian.
Bogosian. Yeah, those
Yeah,
are the
yeah.
8. Yeah. So if Hall and
Off the top of his head, that was
that
impressive.
was pretty good. Hall and you said
I thought I was going to say Bogosian twice.
sorry. who are the two you said aren't in the top 6 right now?
Marinson and Lilgren.
No, those guys that
Oh,
got
I
sent
think
down.
it's
Hall and
I think it's
Dermott.
Hall and Sandin.
Hall
Okay.
and Sandin. Oh yeah.
So yeah, I can't
I know they've been flipping around Dermott in practice. Like they've just
Up and
been
down,
moving.
yeah.
They've just been moved like
on and off the taxi squad. I
that.
guess.
Besides Riley and Brody and Muzzin,
those 3,
Yeah,
they've
I
all been
think that-
rotating.
I think you can just flip. Like it's just a.
which is fair.
Honestly,
Which is yeah.
Yeah.
like you say it like that.
I,
You have like that top pair, and you have Muzzin second line. I'd even just slot in Bogosian sitting third line all year, and it really wouldn't matter.
yeah,
But like if he needs a
doesn't matter.
day
You might
off,
have
it
to
doesn't
change
matter,
the game
right?
style to a different team you're playing. You think about all this extra players you can have on your team. Like when you're going against Calgary, you might have to have Bogosian, Muzzin,
100%.
and somebody else. But when
Yeah.
you're going against Edmonton, you're not going to need those guys.
Just
Yeah.
drag and drop. You have 4 legit NHL caliber.
Yeah,
D
against
pairs.
Montreal, you're going to need probably more force on that team because they're a heavy forward checking team. And then when you play a team like Edmonton, where you're like, hey, we just got to stop McDavid and thing, you're going to probably need your
Yeah, you're gonna
high-end
put
skill.
speed
You're going
out
to need
there.
your speed to counter them.
Hey, watch out for McDavid and thing.
Yeah.
No, you know what I
Price
mean.
out
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
can,
yeah.
you can almost build lineups for every. That's why it's awesome that
Custom.
like the Leafs bottom 6 is so reversible, well, changeable now.
Yeah.
Even the Leafs roster in general is so
Plug and play.
yeah.
Yep, I like it. And I mean, Sandin, I again wish I'd seen more of the blue and white game Leafs. Next time, don't schedule on our draft night. Thank you. I heard he was a lot. I heard he was faster. I heard he looked like he had a step, looked a little more solid.
Yeah,
good for him, man.
I just want to see what the year can bring. I'm optimistic for the Leafs.
Yeah, same. Optimistic about the defense.
Positively optimistic, not like.
I just want to see some good fucking hockey games. That's all I want to see.
And from the again, like special teams, I think it's you're not paying Mitch Marner all that money to go block shots, but I'm glad he does. Just don't hurt yourself, kid, please. Like I'm glad he's willing to do it. He was like diving face first in the playoffs there.
Yeah, but
Last year, 2
that's the
years ago.
playoffs.
Hey man,
so
best,
Yeah.
best
do it in the
players do everything.
playoffs.
What does Bergeron and Marchand do?
Yeah, well, the best players do everything. At the same time, like you know what? If anytime you can get him on the ice and
That's what I mean.
generate some offense, maybe
Exactly.
on the PK too, just be a threat.
Exactly.
If the
And
puck's
some
on their
face-offs.
stick, that's a good thing.
Exactly. Look what Marchand does on the friggin' penalty kill, man. He's fucking scary out there.
You got it. Yeah, you can't.
It forces them to
relax.
overthink. It forces them to overthink.
Overthink, maybe overpass. Yeah, exactly. Think that they're.
Yeah, well, they know if they like make it anywhere close to him, he's jumping and he's gone.
No, it's not like you have Grabner out there who's got hands of stone. He's just really fast. You got fucking Marner out there who's got hands of friggin'
butter
God
or something.
whatever.
So
God in butter.
So here's a question, and this is sort of a conversation that comes up occasionally, and I just want to. I sort of know.
Where's Nylander getting traded this year?
Yeah. So actually, okay. So
Sorry, Greg. No. Go back to your question. I was just trying to be.
I'll ask this though. I'll ask this one because this is a little
Better.
It's slightly different, but Mark brought it up because you hear Matthews compared to Laine on a semi-regular basis. And I think we know from the Leafs perspective, we wouldn't trade. And this is a hypothetical. This is just because hockey's fun and whatever. You wouldn't trade Matthews for Laine. But is the closer comparable to Nylander for Laine? Who would you rather have, Nylander or Laine?
Laine.
I think I'd rather have Laine shot.
Laine shot?
I think I'd rather have Laine shot.
But is that a close?
Laine is
I think that's
also
a closer comparable.
Not
now,
afraid
right
to.
now, than,
No, Laine is not afraid to go into corner either. He
is-
probably had 90 more hits than
I
Nylander
don't care
last
about
year.
stats like that. I just think
Yeah, but, like,
Laine
it just
shot
shows
is so
he's
elite
not
that, like,
afraid to
imagine
be
having
there.
Matthews and Laine on the same power play.
that'd
It's
be
like,
nasty.
oh, which shot do we stop?
You can't.
Yeah, no.
First
that's
of all,
what I
you
mean.
can't stop their shots.
Yeah. Well, which one do we try to block?
Block. Well, first, do you even want to block their shot?
Or which lane do you stop?
Yeah.
I think the Nylander versus Laine conversation just is a lot more interesting.
You can make a
than-
conversation. I just think Laine is a more.
You can make a conversation out of
player.
anything, but whatever.
Sure, but I mean, we're not comparing sticks to
Dicks.
yeah.
You're struggling. I just threw out a word.
I don't know. You're probably like better off comparing Nylander to like Kyle Connor
Yeah.
if you want to go there. Drafted probably more in accordance to each other as well. I think they
Could
were
be.
drafted in the same draft as well.
Seem more of a similar player
Or was
too.
it Ellers? I think it was Nylander and Ellers who were drafted in the same draft.
Nikolai.
Yeah. Okay. So the question I was going to ask is, and I know where you guys stand, but just like for the record, did the Leafs make the playoffs in 19 and 20? So in the bubble, did you consider that a Leafs playoff appearance? They got
Yeah.
booted in the qualifying round.
Yeah.
But is that considered a playoff
Yeah.
appearance?
Every team had the chance to win the cup that was there. You're in the playoffs.
Ian, what do you think? Did the Leafs make the playoffs in 1920?
I think they would have if the
80 years
season.
ago.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, like this is
100 years ago.
yeah,
Fuck, I'm bad at math.
Yeah,
a few months back in the bubble. Is that
I
count as a
don't-
playoff appearance?
No. Like if you look at it like how the NBA did it, they finished out their season first and then they did the playoffs. Like if Leafs finished out their season, I think they would have
Yes.
actually made a playoff
Mathematically,
spot.
they were not.
They
quite a lock, but
weren't
there.
in a regular playoff bracket. If you go and write the playoff bracket from last year,
Yeah.
Leafs are not in it.
That's correct. They're out of the.
But like it was a weird season. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure they made it.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter really.
So I stand on they didn't make it just because they weren't in the top 16.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you write down your playoff bracket, they
Yeah.
weren't on it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they
It wasn't, like, it
they
wasn't a
would have.
completed season.
Yeah,
so-
they would have probably been on it if they played another 10, 11, 12 games, however many they had left.
Yeah, it wasn't a completed season, and any team that has a chance to win the league title going into a post regular season, that's considered a playoff.
Yeah.
It just might be not traditional playoff the way
Yeah,
everybody thinks it's what they want a playoff to be because people don't like change. Like I don't really like change, but at the end of the day, it's still a playoff.
It was still a playoff, but it wasn't. You know?
So what will happen?
So
this is
a comparable. You know how there's like an elimination play-in game for baseball? Is that considered a playoff?
Like
Oh,
the
the wild
wild
card?
card? No.
It's considered
Yes.
a playoffs in baseball.
Well, like, you got to get there to be there, right?
They got there to be there in
Yeah.
hockey.
well, okay. Well,
I still think that.
look at it this way though. So,
I don't really want to turn it into like a debate.
I know,
just-
but in the NHL they do have their wild card spots.
now they do.
Yeah, 'cause
Now
they
they
got,
do.
yeah, they got their three
that-
divisional teams.
that wild card's
And then you
completely
get the wild
different than
card.
what the baseball
MLB
wild card
is.
was.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
So it's not comparable. No.
It's not.
You're still going in
Completely
and playing 7
uncomparable,
games
but-
as opposed to playing 1.
Yeah,
Or-
it's not a one-off.
4 at least.
Still
Well-
playoffs though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a 3-game series to get into
Yeah,
the
yeah.
playoffs for,
For
the
the-
NHL. That's considered more playoffy than a single game elimination, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Leafs a lock for the playoffs this season, for the 2021 season?
If they
In
play
the
as
Canadian
they
division.
should, yes.
Well, yeah.
Are they by far and away the best team in the Canadian division? We'll do our division.
We'll talk about that in
breakdowns.
our
Not
division.
in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Not in your opinion.
I don't think like I don't know if the Leafs play to their potential, they should be better than everyone else in that division.
Yeah.
But not like out of this world like 20 points better. Like they're
No,
up, like,
that's a lot of wins, man.
Couple
That's
game,
a lot of
yeah,
wins. That's almost a
couple
perfect
game,
season.
Couple game gap, you know. Like
Sure.
they're up there, but I don't know.
I mean, it's so tough just because of all the roster changes. They've basically revamped their defense. They got almost a new forward on each line. Really, they have a new backup goalie. By all intents and purposes, I mean Campbell's there for like a minute, and then COVID shut everything down. So this is such a fresh team that it'll be really
Core's still the same.
the core is still the same, but all of those other pieces added in, how does that mesh together? And is it going to mesh quickly? Yeah, I know a lot of these players don't need an exhibition games, but we're sort of flying by the seat of our pants, just sort of seeing what it's a mystery until we see what it is.
It's gonna be a mystery for every team, though. So it's not like it's different for Toronto.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
It's the same for every
Exactly.
team.
There's no
Like
excuse
if you
can
don't,
make.
yeah, you can't go in. Oh, they didn't have their preseason. They didn't have a long enough training camp. It's like, well, you guys fucking knew it was coming.
You guys signed this agreement.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fucking-
I don't see many. I mean, maybe Montreal, they signed a couple wingers, and Montreal's a bit of a mystery box. But again, we can go into that when we talk about the Canadian
yeah,
division.
we're skipping that for now, Greg.
I just think that there's so many question marks with the Leafs, and not everything has to go right. It's just it'll just be interesting to see how everything slots together
Yep.
as we go along here. And there's just really nothing to go off of until we start seeing hockey.
Yeah. You just gotta watch it happen.
Yeah, and you know how you said the Leafs were in a playoff team when you like stacked everything at 1-6 whatever last year?
Yeah,
So I did the stacking of like the Canadian division in terms of points last year.
Yep.
Leafs were second, 1 point behind Edmonton. So that either tells you how bad the Canadian division is or how like
Close it is.
competitive it's going to
Yeah.
how competitive. I think it might be one of the more.
It's gonna.
Is it going to be the
competitive.
most competitive?
Uh,
It's 6
for
teams.
top 6? Yes,
For-
I believe.
From 1st to 7th last year, Ottawa was only 20 points behind Edmonton.
And for 1st to 6, it was like 12 points.
Yeah,
Which is basically
a week.
it's. I was going to try to break it down to actual.
Well, yeah,
that's a bad. That's
one-
a bad.
one
stretch.
team-
Bad week.
One
That's a
team
bad
loses 3, the other team wins 3. It's like that's a big swing.
That's
Yeah.
12 points right there. One team's not getting them, the other team is. Yeah, that's a 12-point swing. I think the Leafs have. I think on paper the Leafs are the best team. Again, by how much is sort of up to debate, and I guess we have to see. In terms of the completeness of it, I think they're deeper than a lot of these other teams.
Oh yeah, I talked about that with the mix. You can mix match lineups.
Yeah.
depending what team
Yeah,
you
yeah.
play. I don't know.
Slot A into slot B.
Maybe Montreal's got depth like that to do it as well. I'm not sure, but I don't think there's other teams that really have the depth that they can kind of throw out 2-3 different style lineups against other guys.
And it's almost like they had that in mind when they put this team together. When they were signing, there was that week there where it seemed like they were signing a new guy. Yeah, they started with Wayne Simmons and TJ Brody, and then Thornton comes around, then they trade for Joey Anderson, and then they trade for another winger, Boyd, and then they
Pick a VC.
exactly sign VC. It's like, Dubas, are you going to sign everyone?
And then,
yeah,
and
you're
then
going to
he
sign
signed
everyone.
Mikheyev, and then he signed Dermott.
Re-sign
like-
those guys exactly. So the Leafs can go. I guess they have 5 lines in the bubble, including the taxi squad. They have 5 D pairs in the bubble.
Four deep.
Four.
4 D pairs in the bubble, so that they can go
Yep.
deeper than every
Yep.
other team. I think. I don't think their depth is very rivaled. We'll just see what happens, and ultimately,
In the Canadian division, it's not rivaled. Other divisions, maybe.
yes, 100%, just within the Canadian teams, and ultimately though, it's up to what the core guys do.
Oh yeah,
Just like every other team, you win and lose.
you win with your best players.
You win and lose with with
You win
with
and lose with
Matthews.
your best players.
Like, do you think Matthews can score 40 goals?
yeah.
Yeah.
What did you say? You said 40. How many?
48. Wait, he said 50, and he's like, no, wait.
No, wait. hang on.
48.
Wait, let's set the over under at 47.5.
Yeah, fine.
And how do you think Marner can put up? I don't know, like
70?
60 points is probably reachable. That's more than a point a game.
60
points
is easy for him. I want to say if he pushes
64.
I think 70. I don't think
64
70 is
really
out
good.
of this world.
Why 64?
I don't know.
But just to pick a number.
8 points above. What was? I think last year he was 67 in 59 games.
Yeah.
So he's playing 56. 64 seems pretty good, Mark.
Yeah, that's how I got my number.
Okay.
I totally got my number that way, Ian. I
No,
just didn't think of it as the first number to come to my head.
No,
Yeah.
it was the first number that
I
came
just,
to your head.
I was like, does Mark have a formula he's not sharing with us right now?
No.
It's called
Random
Marijuana.
numbers.
And okay, so how would a guy like, because we haven't really we talked about all the other guys, so I just want to go on the big guys because that's I think what everyone's waiting to hear about.
No, fuck
How about like John Tavares? What's a successful year for him? Is he gonna? He's not really
really ever. He's kind of a point per player game, but like
Is 45
just
a good
under
mark for him?
You know what?
50.
50
I don't
is
really
solid.
care what Tavares does in the regular season. He brings that
Tenacity.
all the time. He brings that all the like. You don't have to worry about what he's going to do, in my opinion. What I'm worried, like, I just want him to stay healthy. That's what I care.
Yeah,
If he stays healthy, you know he's good. And if the Leafs make the playoffs, that's all I care about is him showing up for the playoffs.
El Capitano.
yeah,
Yeah.
he'll be ready to go. He's got the boys.
He's one
going.
guy you don't got to worry about. He just
Yeah, he's a consistent player. He's
Yeah.
been a consistent player for a lot longer than most guys
that's
on
the
this
only
team.
thing I'm worried about. Just hope he stays healthy. That's it.
And Nylander we touched on very briefly, but
I'm thinking
He had a big upstart last year.
he score
like
30
if he
goals?
goes bar in as opposed to bar out this year, he's going to score a lot of goals.
yeah, did you mention he hit a lot of posts? Was that
He
you?
had a
That,
shitload of posts last year.
was that you that mentioned that? Can he? I mean, 30 goals in a regular
in
season.
56. Well, he was 30 last year in 70. So yeah, I wouldn't.
25
Maybe 25?
I think 25.
50 points, 25, I think is easily is attainable for him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess. And
I wouldn't be surprised if he got 30. Honestly, 30 and 56.
You can't.
That's one every
I don't
other
think
game
the Leafs
almost.
can have that many are going to score that many goals collectively.
yeah, we
I
can't,
don't know,
we can't
but-
get goals to everybody.
Yeah.
unless they're winning 7-2.
Well, they might be.
In our fantasy episodes, we were saying that the games in this division might be like
Big scoring
Oh,
Oh, I
games.
think the
Yes.
first few weeks is going to be fucking.
it
Like,
could be.
It's gonna be weird.
It's
Yeah.
going to be weird.
And I guess just the last thing for Marner here is Jonas Siegel had an article there where he was basically talking about Marner's working on his speed and endurance and his shot. He wanted to work on those things particularly his what do they call it? They called it speed endurance. So I guess it's basically go and empty the tank out, running back and forth
Being able to stay at a high pace for longer
for the entire
for the
game.
yeah.
So, which I mean, listen. Honestly, anybody who covers a pro sport team could write a dozen articles like this every year. But the fact that he's doing it, and the fact that he, that effort level and that compete level is still there is, yeah, it's good to see. But let's see how it translates.
I
Let's
think
see how
well,
it translates onto
like
the ice.
even like when the whole Babcock thing came out last year, it's like Marner was the one that said like, "Oh, I think I'm the worst player on the team, like work ethic wise, right?"
Yep.
And I don't know, maybe I think he has definitely improved.
Squash the haters.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's, you know what?
Well, and there's so many like
you can talk or you can do it.
I'm kind of there with the haters
And-
on the contract, but like
Scariest person is fighting somebody with a chip on their shoulder.
yeah,
yeah.
but like 11 million that puts him up there with like Draisaitl, Patrick Kane.
Elite company.
Yeah. If you're there, be there. Show me.
And he might. And if
Yeah.
he does,
I'll be happy about it. I don't
Good.
care.
Will you buy a
Okay.
jersey?
No.
oh, how many points, Ian? How many points does Mitch Marner have to get this year to buy a jersey?
He's on your fantasy team too.
if yeah, he is on my fantasy team. If he gets 90, I'll buy a jersey.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's a lot of
That's
points.
a lot of man. That's not quite 2 a game. That's like what 2? I don't know. I'm not
Just
gonna do the math
just
right
less
now.
than
Under
2.
two.
Just less than 2.
It's a lot less than 2.
Oh, it's a lot less than 2.
But like 90 is where I have Connor McDavid, so I
Okay.
don't think Marno will do that.
Yo, Mitch Marner is going to be sitting on 89 points in the
That's
last
fine.
minute of the game.
And I
in
won't
game
buy a jersey.
56, and he's going to be coming down with an empty net, and Ian's just going to flip open NHL.com right on his phone.
You sure? I'll
put in
do
the
it.
order.
Fucking someone call me out, ask for the fucking.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about that.
I'll buy it and then probably give it away, but I'll buy it.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. We have a contest.
There you
giveaway
go.
on
Mitch
this
Marner,
show
you hear
already.
that? Ian's going to buy a jersey of yours and give it to charity when you get 90 points this year.
Yeah, I'll give it to charity or give
I'd
it
be
to someone.
stoked. I'd be stoked. Guys, anything else? Anything else on the Leafs here?
They better fucking win.
Oh, I hope so.
Says the Red Wings fan.
Yeah, says
Yeah,
the guy.
well-
He's got a Red Wings hat on every episode.
I'm not obviously gonna watch the Red Wings win, so I want to
No.
watch the Leafs win.
That's fair. Cool, guys. All right. Well, we'll follow it. We'll obviously following the Leafs and a few other teams sort of as the season goes along here. But hey, let us know what you think of this. It's not really a season preview. It's more of a what's our thoughts were on the off season and what our thoughts were, just sort of some of these transactions. But hey, it'll be fun to watch. Let's go to the 7th inning stretch. You know what I miss? I miss the unique distinction of NHL goalie masks. You don't see many goalies carry the same design year to year anymore. Each season, each jersey, each playoff run, even each outdoor game needs its own paint job. I sneezed the other day. Let's pay homage with a new paint job. So many styles, yet so little character. No identity. Eddie Belfour. What do you think of? Of course. On every mask, the Eagle. Curtis Joseph, Cujo. You can picture the mask. Martin Brodeur. It's not particularly complicated, his mask, but it doesn't need to be. Tuukka Rask with the Bears, the most consistent current one I can think of. If anyone else comes to mind, please let me know.
Chris Osgood.
Jonathan Quick, maybe?
Chris Osgood.
Don't get me wrong, I love the detail that goes into mask designs. And there are so many gorgeous masks out there, but I'm talking about an identity. Belfort's color scheme changed with the team, but the Eagle always stayed. The Eagle transcended the team. Identity. Patrick Lalime and Marvin the Martian. The Sens, the Blues, the Sabres, doesn't matter which team, Marvin the Martian, that was his thing. Posters, pictures of goalie masks used to be collectible. And just by looking at the poster with only the mask, you knew the goalie. You know Felix Potvin's mask. And every year, it doesn't have to be exact same. Everybody changes. Tastes change. Teams change. Logos change. But I think a lot can be said about having an identity. So many pro athletes have their own brand nowadays, and their logo is usually some bullshit combination of their initials. Like, who cares? Eddie the Eagle, his brand, you already know what it is. He actually started a spirits company. On the logo, it's right there, the Eagle. But you already knew that. I didn't have to tell you. You see the name Belfour Spirits? But are you sure that's him? Oh, right, there's the Eagle. Yep, that's Ed Belfour, unmistakably Eddie. I miss goalies having their own thing, their own image, their own character, their own brand that transcends teams and whatever the hell else is going on. Goalie masks used to mean something. It was an extension of the player. And I know some designs mean something. Many of them are, in fact, very thoughtful. But if they don't hang on to those designs or that image for very long, how much did it really mean to them to begin with? I have no idea what Jose Theodore's double gargoyles meant, but I knew that was his look. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe the messages are deeper now. Something beyond simple imagery. If so, please enlighten me. But to the above average hockey fan, they're just fancy, shiny, detailed things that come and go. If everything is unique, is anything unique? In today's world, you know what I think is unique? Consistency and identity. All right, major awards, National Hockey League. We're going to go around the table and we're going to take our best guess. Don't quote us on these ones. Don't write these down. However, if we get one of them correct, we will remind you about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna Sally.
Okay, so we've got, we're going to pick the Hart, Art Ross, Norris, Vezina, Richard, Calder, Selke, Lady Bing, President Trophy, just for fun. We'll pick the Cup winner because,
Why not?
and I guess the Conn Smythe.
Kind of goes hand in hand with the cup, I think.
Sure. So Mark, let's start with you and let's start with the most valuable player. Who is winning the Hart Trophy
The Hart Trophy this year
in 2021?
is going to somebody who hasn't won it since 2015.
Yeah.
Carter Hart.
Carter Hart.
Yeah. First goalie since 2015 to win a
First
Hart Trophy.
goalie. I
First
thought you-
goalie.
Oh, okay.
Carter Hart.
Carter Hart.
Okay.
Ian, how about you?
I got Nathan McKinnon.
Nathan McKinnon. Wow. Why don't you just take the best player in the league and
God,
pick
I
him?
worded that wrong.
Well, yeah. I thought you were. Gonna,
I was on
I thought you were
gonna
gonna
say
bring up
Carey
Carey Price.
No, I'm reading it here. I forgot
yeah,
what year
yeah.
he won, and I'm like, no, not him. I want Carter Hart.
Yeah. Well, McKinnon actually hasn't won a Hart, but
No.
he's been nominated.
Yeah. You know what? I wrote him down too. I also have Nate McKinnon. I almost think that because who votes for these awards?
No clue.
The writers.
The writers, yeah.
The writer.
Yeah, the Pearson is the one the NHL players vote for.
Yes. So yeah.
Lady Bing?
No,
No.
the Pearson.
No, but is the Lady Bing?
Lady Bing's the most gentlemanly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that isn't it based off of what players think, or is it based off of the writers
I
as
don't
well?
know. I don't know
yeah,
what
I
that's
don't know.
based on.
Whatever.
So, but I think that the writer media group is finally realizing how good he is. There's been a certain segment that's realized that knows McKinnon's been amazing for a few years now, but I think he's finally coming into the global spotlight.
Well, when Hall won it, 3 years ago now? I think McKinnon was one of the nominees, and was it Drew was the other one, Mark? That year?
I think Giroux was snubbed.
Oh, he might have been snubbed. And I think that was like his 100-point season too. So I kind of thought it should have been McKinnon over Hall that year, but
Hall's new shiny thing.
yeah.
Mark, Art Ross, points,
Art Ross.
most points.
Most points, Connor McDavid.
Yeah, I had Connor McDavid.
I'm gonna go Nate McKinnon again.
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna go Nate McKinnon again. Why not?
sure.
I mean, not that it's a long shot by any means. How about the Norris?
Ivan Provorov, Philadelphia Flyers. He's breaking out this year.
Norris, top defenseman. Provorov, okay.
Surprised you didn't have a flyer for the Hart, and you did. You didn't have a flyer for the.
I did have a heart for the heart.
You didn't have a flyer for the Art Ross though. I have Roman Yossi.
Roman
Again.
Yossi, back to
Go
back.
back to back.
When's last time someone's won the Norris back to back?
Probably Lidstrom.
Or Niedermeyer?
No, it would have been Lidstrom before it was Niedermeyer.
I think Lidstrom. I think it's
Okay,
only
maybe
Lidstrom.
yeah. Okay, that sounds about. It's one of those guys. But
I didn't
Lidstrom's-
really look up the past winners. So.
Yeah, neither have I. I have. I'm picking Alex Pietrangelo.
Peter Angelo.
I think along with Yossi, I think that was the best D pair in hockey last year. Ellis and Yossi.
Yeah, but Ellis was out half the season.
He was, yeah. And going to Vegas, Pietrangelo, if he's playing with Shea Theodore, that could be the best. Well, we had that as our top D pair for Team Canada. If they're playing together, I'm assuming they are. No guarantees, but I'm just going to guess Alex Pietrangelo. Hey, Mark, how about the best goalie? Who do you think the best goalie is going to be? The Vezina winner.
Well, the same guy who won the Hart Trophy, Carter Hart.
Oh, Carter Hart.
I got Andrei Vasilevsky.
Vasilevsky, not a bad choice. I'm going to go, Mark mentioned him a little bit earlier. I'm going to take a guess and just say Carey Price.
Yeah, could.
Carey Price. Let's go for Carey Price bounce back.
And it was-
I'm not a Habs fan. I'm a Leafs fan, but you know what?
It was Hellebuck last year,
Carey Price.
so we'll see.
How about the Richard?
The Rocket.
Rocket Richard.
The
Who's scoring the most?
Rocket?
Who's scoring the most goals?
Who are you asking?
I'm gonna go with Mark first.
Oh, okay.
Probably. I'm gonna go with Ovechkin.
Oh, Vetch.
Actually, no. You know, I cancel that. Cancel that. Austin Matthews.
I got Austin Matthews.
Are we all? It's a hat trick then. We're all
Canadian
saying
division, he's gonna score
Austin
too many goals
Matthews.
this year.
All right. Well,
I can't say
Matthews on that
Ovechkin's
one.
gonna score more than 48 fucking goals.
Yeah, if you're gonna say Ovechkin. or
Matthews is gonna score 48.
Mark's planting his flag on 48 Island. Oh my God, Mark, are you getting a Matthews jersey if he scores 48 goals?
You can have the one I won at Amigos. Hey, Mark, I'll give you my Matthews
I don't have
jersey.
I don't have a Matthews jersey. He's American too.
Yeah.
I
All right.
only get jerseys of Canadians.
Rookie of the year, Calder. The Calder Trophy.
Honestly, there isn't a lot of rookies that I know.
Okay, Mark, we'll go with Mark first.
Just went simple. I'll go with Laugh.
Yeah, I
They
went
have
with
a good year with the Rangers.
I went with Lafreniere as well.
Bernier. All right, I'm going a little bit off the board.
All right.
New York as well.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go with the Minnesota guy.
New York, except not the Rangers.
Oh,
I'm going to go with Ilya Sorokin, the goaltender.
Yeah, I was
Oh.
thinking about him too, but
A little more interesting than picking
Yeah.
all the big guys that I've picked so
I
far.
thought
off the board.
someone might say
Julius
I don't
Ripken.
know. I don't know that guy's name on
Yeah,
Minnesota.
Oh my gosh.
Kirill.
Last goalie to win a Calder
Kaprizov.
was Steve Mason too, eh? 08-09.
Really?
Yeah, it's a long time for a goalie.
That was on
Columbus.
Columbus.
Yeah, and
Oh, the Jackets.
then he fell off after that.
A little bit. And then Raycroft before that.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you want to win the Rookie of the Year as a goalie.
It's not a good omen.
Oh, Brodeur before that. So
Who?
and then Ed
Berto's
Belfour.
okay. Yeah,
So yeah, it was
Belfour's
2 and then
okay.
2 and then 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get the pattern going.
How about for the Selke defensive forward, Mark?
Coots.
I
Sean
got
Couturier.
Sean Couturier.
I got
Flyers?
Couturier going back to back.
Yeah, Ian's a flyer. I'm gonna go Bergeron. I'm not going off the board for this one.
Well,
Bergeron's not a-
Coots won last year. I'm not going off the board either.
No, exactly. No. Well,
And before this past season, Mark always brought it up that Coots gets snubbed for the Selke all the time.
yeah, Mark will remember.
Yeah, I'm not gonna rant about it today.
Lady Bing. Is it gentlemanly? Gentlemanly sportsmanship.
Yeah.
The person who wants to go shake their hands after the game.
I'm gonna go Marner.
Interesting. Okay.
I got Matthews.
Okay, I
But
wrote this
that's
down.
because he was
Matthews never takes penalties
no, but
either.
yeah, but Matthews was nominated last year as well. McKinnon won it,
Yeah.
so Matthews
yeah.
was one of the nominated. I'm like, yeah, I got him as the Hart or the Richard, so we'll go with him as that as well.
I jotted down Marner as well, just because I'm like,
Did you really?
yeah,
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
just like,
why
I
not?
don't know.
I was gonna say
Whatever.
Giroux, but I'm like, I can't say the person who touched Cobb's ass.
Okay, yeah.
That's like the least gentlemanly thing you can do.
Yeah, but that wasn't
most
this past
rock star.
season.
For the President's Trophy, so that's most points at the end of this season. It'll be a little strange because the teams don't play each other, so it's very siloed. But who do
Weird.
you think is winning the President's Trophy?
Well, one of the teams I don't want to win the Stanley Cup, so hopefully it's the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Pittsburgh Penguins wins the
I just like President's Trophy curse. Like
Yeah,
I'm just
for
picking
sure.
a team I don't want to win the cup.
for sure.
I have Colorado.
Same.
No, but
I got Colorado.
I got Colorado though.
Yeah. Real.
I just think Pittsburgh as a joke.
Yeah. So all of us Colorado. We all think the Avalanche in that division.
Yeah, the division's
sure.
weaker.
All right. So let's do. So Mark, give me your Cup winner. Obviously not to spoil our way too early playoff predictions that are coming up in a couple the later episodes here. Cup winner and your Conn Smythe winner.
Flyers and Carter Hart.
Flyers and Carter Hart. Quite the combo. Ian.
Detroit, no. I got Vegas winning, and that's a Conn Smythe. I guess probably Mark Stone.
Mark Stone. That's a good guess.
I like
All
that
right.
one. That was sick.
Okay.
I didn't think you were gonna say that. That was cool.
I'm going to go Colorado Avalanche winning the Cup. And I have to
Take McKinnon.
take our boy
Nazem
Nazem Kadri
Yes.
for the Conn Smythe. Man, I don't know. For Slade Second he plays a pretty big role in that team, man.
It's like
and-
Kessel did with
You
Pittsburgh.
want to
Yeah.
you want to throw in the Jennings right now, real quick? Who do you think the best tandem's going to be in the league?
best tandem? Oh my gosh.
goalie tandem?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it'd be one goalie or it could be a tandem depending on if the
Boston.
second guy plays more games.
Did they win it last year?
Probably.
I don't
yeah, they
remember.
did. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah, Halak and Rask is pretty good. It's hard to beat that. Like I don't know. Price Allen's pretty good. Could see some of the guys that moved around. Like I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
What if Holtby has a season and Holtby and Demko are the best goaltender pairing? I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's tough.
Or we go with the guys I just chose for the cup with how do you say his name? Robin Liner, whatever, however you say it.
And Fleury?
That's a good one
That's
too.
a pretty good combo.
That's a decent combo.
Are you gonna pick a Jennings combo? I got one.
That was
Oh, that's yours?
No, I said Boston.
You
Yeah,
said
sure.
Mark's got Boston.
yeah, sure. I'll go Vegas.
Vegas. I'll take
You gonna say to Colorado?
no, I'll go the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, just because
I
you
thought you were gonna
drafted
say
them.
Chicago.
Nah. Oh my gosh.
Chicago.
Hey, Reimer's on waivers, guys.
Yeah.
Corpus Salo and Merzlikins. They were low. They were down there in goals against, and Torts is gonna be making sure they play defense. So let's for a stab in the dark, why not? All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Let's go to the last minute play. we want to do some thank yous. We got to our 12th episode here, and we didn't get here all by ourselves. So we want to send out some thank yous for some of our friends who have helped us along the way, get the podcast up and running. So thank you, Nick Corcoran, who helped us with our audio gear. Can't record a show without equipment. Thanks, Nick, for pointing us in the right direction. And a tip of the cap to GAG Electronics for hooking us up. Huge thanks to Sheil Gohill, Shakib Ahmed, and Matt Taylor for their guidance on marketing and branding. Thanks to Alicia Harvey for our logo artwork. Huge thanks to Amy, who you've heard already. She's the voice of our intro and close. You'll hear her in each episode. And you're about to hear Amy in a second here. Thanks, Amy. Thanks to everyone who has listened and provided feedback. We're new at this, and by no means are we experts. But we'll take all the constructive feedback that we can get. We appreciate and value your input. Thanks to Mark and Ian for all the research they did in those fantasy hockey episodes. Ian said that it's the most research he's ever done on a project, so hopefully none of his teachers are listening. Or maybe they already have, and
They agree.
and they exactly. Last and certainly not least, huge thanks to you, our audience, wherever you are across Canada. We see the listens pop up across the States, even in Europe. That's amazing. Thank you for spending time and listening to us. So from us, before Amy thanks you for listening, we want to say first, thank you. And it's a big week with hockey and everything starting, so stay tuned and cheers.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on Twitter @DraftInHand.